Hello. How's it going, everybody? There was probably be a lag, but it'd be handy if you sent me a message to say you could hear me. Although I'm pretty sure that you can. So, Uxbridge. Hello. How are you? Let me have a mess around with my screens. I will start. I'll sing a song first. Actually, do you know what would be great before I start? If you're watching this on Facebook, which I think some of you are, do a wee share thing, and then if any of your other pals are watching, they might see it and join us, which should be nice. Audience jump, they are stung. In one word, his career was undone. They turned out his light, it was over that night. Slip of the tongue. He's done so well for one so young. Out of nowhere, this young man had sprung, sure to regret it the moment he said it. Slip of the tongue, slip of the tongue, and he felt a little older. Slip of the tongue, and he felt a little colder. Slip of the tongue, oh, fall down. Slip of the tongue. In a perfect world, he could have won. In the past, the stank wouldn't have clung. There's no avoiding, it may have been Freudian. Slip of the tongue, slip of the tongue, and he felt a little older. Slip of the tongue, and he felt a little colder. Slip of the tongue, oh, fall down. Slip of the tongue, slip of the tongue, and he felt a little colder. Slip of the tongue, and he felt a little colder. Slip of the tongue, oh, fall down. Slip of the tongue. So, who's got sound issues and who doesn't? Someone's saying that they've got sound issues. They're saying it is quiet. It looks all right to me, what I'm sending out. So it could be at your end. So do us a favour, because this has happened before, and then the person discovered that they didn't have their headphones plugged in, and that's why it sounded like it was far away. Meanwhile, I was panicking. But yeah, according to me, I am sending you good signal. What I'll do is I'll take a risk, because I do sing loud as well, you know. I'll take a risk. I'm just gonna turn my volume up just ever so slightly to there, with a risk that when I sing something loud, it'll all come crashing down. Sounding good, great. To most folk, hello, welcome everybody. I can see Peter, I can see Dave, Tony, Dave Barton there, Nick as well. Good evening to you all. Thanks for joining me. Slip of the tongue. I can't. Someone asked for that on Patreon. I can't remember if it was Dave or Paul, but maybe it was Paul actually. I may have to do it again at the end. I've been doing this thing with my Patreon where I say to folk, I'm doing a gig, is there anything you want to hear? Which is dead handy for me, because I haven't been out gigging for so long. It's quite hard to choose. I started writing, I've got a list here. I started writing and I had, it's got like 30 songs on it. So if you do want to see something, shout, just write a comment. I can see comments. YouTube people that are watching, I can see your comments. And Facebook people, I can see your comments. I've got this fancy thing that goes along the bottom of the screen that tells you where to buy all my stuff. Just like that. That's if you want to drop me a tip. But I think the guys from the folk club said they would do a bit of that, and also there's all the usual stuff here, like my shop, and all that kind of stuff. So please do, and sign up on Patreon if you want. Anyway, I will do some more singing right now. This is called Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr, been here before. Can you take any more? Hedy Lamarr, you know your place. You're just another pretty face, too beautiful, and every time the light shines down, you disappear. Hedy Lamarr, what you had in mind. Oh, but they must have been blind. And every time the light shines down, you disappear. And every time the light shines down on you, you disappear. Hedy Lamarr, if only they'd see beyond the silver screen. Too beautiful, too beautiful, too beautiful, too beautiful. Thank you. I wrote a couple of songs for Morgan Fisher's Miniatures, the anniversary of that. I think the first one came out in 1980, and then they did one in 2000, and they did one called Miniatures 2020, which I highly recommend checking out. It's the most incredible thing when it arrives. It's like a DVD case with CDs and a proper, like, hefty, thick booklet with all the stuff in it. Anyway, I was only meant to write the one song for it, but I got so into the idea of writing 1 minute songs. So there's 134 1 minute songs on the record. I got so into writing these 1 minute songs. I've stuck a couple of them. I stuck the two, actually made videos of them. I was doing a gig with a pre-record thing with Funbox and Bonzo the dog, and they said, we've got a bit of time left in the studio, and I thought, I know, I'll record my two 1 minute songs. So they made me up a Funbox style video for these two songs. Unfortunately, they don't feature Bonzo the dog, but that, which would have been fantastic. I don't know why they don't, actually. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, this is the first one. It's called Mayfly, because obviously Mayfly is the first thing I thought of. It has very short lifespan, and then I discovered that actually that's not technically true. But there is one in America called Doliana americana whose lifespan as a mayfly as an actual flying mayfly as opposed to a larvae. God, this is great chat, isn't it? And then he talked about mayflies for 15 minutes and sang a song that lasted 1 minute. The Dolliana americana is a mayfly that lasts 5 minutes. So this is a song about that. I'm going to use a capo. I used a capo on the gig and it's any better. Mayfly, mayfly, live for a day and then you die. Mayfly, mayfly, barely time to wonder why. Dolliana americana, hello, goodbye. Dolliana americana, hello, I love you, goodbye. Hello, I love you, goodbye. It's quite good crack. Once you get into the 1 minute songs, there's no going back. It's the perfect length. Someone asked for this. I haven't done it for ages, which bodes well. We'll see how we get on. This is Idle in Decline. I wrote it with Boo Hewerdine. It was for my VIP album, and which I recorded in this room. I'm pointing the wrong way. Oh no, I didn't record it over there. I did. I recorded it right there. If you see where all that bunch of crap is in the background, that's where I sat to sing. And when we sang this song, you can probably just make out the piano there. That was where my brother sat to play the piano. This room was Mark Freegard's studio, and it's now me and Boo Hewerdine and Chris Drever and Ewan Burton have got it, and they come in here and write songs and think. We come in here and think. That's mostly just use it for thinking, occasionally hitting one note on the piano over and over again. So I think this was for Dave Barton. I think you asked for Idle in Decline. I have stalled enough. Poor Mickey Mantle, pride of the Yankees, I had a card that you signed. Number 7's not always so lucky for an idol in decline. Poor Mickey Mantle, I can still see you, 56 frozen in time. Always your favorite summer for an idol in decline. Poor Mickey Mantle, you made the covers, but somehow you slipped out of time. Number 7's not always so lucky for an idol in decline. Twilight, Thanks for asking for that, Dave. I haven't done it for ages. It's a really nice song. I was really lucky when I did the Eddie Reader tour a few years ago, which, by the way, I'm doing again. Actually, I'm going out with Eddie in September and October this year. So I must be playing. Where to be playing near you guys in Uxbridge? King's Place. I'm playing. I don't know if that's near you. Surrey, somewhere in Surrey. I can't remember the name of it. Various places all over England. I am playing, and then I'm out about a month later. I'm out with Megan Henwood as well. The reason I brought that up is because Eddie really liked that song. So if I was doing it and she was there, she would come on stage and sing backing vocals. And one night I didn't know she was coming on and singing backing vocals, and I was just like, man, that person in the audience is really, really good at singing. And then I was like, that person in the audience is behind me and they're really, really good at singing. And then I realised that she was right behind me. It's quite scary when you're standing on a big stage in front of a whole lot of people and, like, you know, that pantomime thing of going, behind you would have been handy. What was I going to do? A Man Who Sold New York. I was going to do that. That's also off of VIP. It was... George C. Parker was the man who sold New York to out-of-town millionaires who fell for his sweet talk. They paid for Lady Liberty, they bought his every line. Must have sold the Brooklyn Bridge at least 1,000 times. George C. Parker, the man who sold New York. I just read something in the comments. I shouldn't do that. Hang on. A master of persuasion, he knew every get rich quick. From the Kansas City Shuffle to the crooked three-card trick. Start with a foundation, that's where you begin. Build up to the convincer till you've brought the man in. Take you in his confidence and leave you in the dark. Principles the same, you only need a mark. George C. Parker, man who sold New York. 13 years he rode his luck inside a prison cell. Money doesn't mean a thing, nothing left to sell, but old habits, they die hard. Said he'd gotta deal with God the night before he died. He'll take you in his confidence and leave you in the dark. Principles the same, you only need a mark. George C. Parker, the man who sold New York. George C. Parker, the man who sold New York. Every time I do this, I don't know why I do it. I just go, as I'm singing, I'm like, this song's going well. I'll just, while I'm singing and playing the guitar, I'll just read the comments at the same time. Terrible idea. Hello, Auntie Kirsty and Uncle Mike. That's what I read. It was your comment. I blame you entirely. Building ships. Somebody asked for building ships. I should say, by the way, that George C. Parker, that was his. If you've not heard me do that song before, he was a con man in New York, and he would sell famous landmarks to people who'd just come off the boat, and then he'd take their money and do a runner, and amazing things that he would sell, like the tomb of General Grant. Madison Square Garden. At one point, he had a go at the Statue of Liberty, and the story goes that the reason he gave up selling the Statue of Liberty is because it was he had to get a boat to make a getaway. Anyway, he ended up doing the Brooklyn Bridge, and what he would do is he would sell like a ticket booth on the Brooklyn Bridge, which I just think's brilliant. So these guys, they'd set up their little ticket booth and they'd start selling tickets, and the police would show up and go, "What are you doing? It's a free bridge." And they're like, "Oh no, we bought a thing that says we can sell tickets on it." He was doing that 3 times a week. 3 times a week. What a guy. Anyway, they caught him eventually. The weird thing is, of all the people that I put on the VIP album, no photographs of George C. Parker, and it wasn't that long ago, but somehow he managed to keep his photograph. So they don't reckon they've got a real photograph of him. He must have paid someone to destroy all the photographs of him, which I think is pretty impressive. So this is a song called Building Ships, or There's More to Building Ships. There's more to building ships than smashing champagne off the stern, than royals and the crowds and the blaring of the horn. There's someone counting pennies, there's someone needs new shoes, there's someone up the pawn shop buying back their weekend suit. There's more to building ships than nostalgia, ache and pride of watching hulks roll down the docks and turn into the Clyde. There's 10 men in the hospital, 4 men in the ground, and everyone that worked there breathed that dust into their lungs. And everyone that worked there breathed the dust into their lungs. There's more to building ships than shaping steel into a hull. There's labourers and managers flying flags and fighting wars, from the draftsman in the office to the man who welds the plate. And everyone among them should get fair and equal pay. And everyone among them should get fair and equal pay. It's more than building ships, it's their every working day. They stand there on the dockside and they watch them sail away. Someone in the government wants to make their name. They cut it and they scupper it and the unions take the blame. They scupper it and cut it and the unions take the blame. And they watch them sail away. Yeah. Actually, I've not really played this live very much. I really like this song. It's dead new. It's called Madison Avenue Worry Lines. I can't really remember how exactly how it came about, but I found myself Googling 1960s adverts, and I found on Madison Avenue, basically. I think maybe I'd heard somebody on a podcast saying Madison Avenue's got a lot to answer for, and I thought that's quite a good line. It's quite a good line, actually. Why isn't that in the song? Never mind. Madison Avenue's got a lot to answer for, and I found a whole load of these adverts, and I've got really into this thing of it's almost like that David Bowie cut-up technique. I don't know if you've heard that, where you get loads of lines, you cut them all up, and you kind of throw them into the air, and they land on the ground, and then you sort of assemble them bit by bit into a song. So Life on Mars, that David Bowie song, was written that way. So this is kind of the same thing, where I just had all these adverts, these lines from adverts, and I wrote them out in my book, and then I just kind of joined them all together. So these are all adverts that were aimed at women, and they're absolutely horrendous. I made an album during the brief break we had from lockdown with Angus Lyon down at his studio, Grant's House Studio. Angus, you'll know him as a producer. He produced what's he produced recently? Well, like Blue Rose Code, and he's the piano player and producer for Blazing Fiddles. Anyway, Angus produced one of my albums, the first Findlay Napier and the Barroom's Mountaineers album. And we were chatting, and he said, "What are you up to?" And I said, I've got all these songs. I've been writing songs during lockdown." And he was like, "Come to the studio and record them." And I was like, "Oh, I can't really afford it." He was like, "Just come to the studio and let's just play music." So we did that. You want the volume up? Someone wants the volume up a wee bit. I can turn the volume up a wee bit, but I warn you, it is close. It is very close to the red. So if you can't hear me, you might want to try and turn it up at your end. I will turn up a little bit more, but if it starts distorting and going and all the stuff starts shivering on your mantelpiece, I warned you. Man, that's quite loud. I'll take this back just a wee bit. Anyway. It says capo 3, but I don't believe it. I may have to abandon this halfway through and move the capo, but it's I just, that thing that Andrina said there, she's got her volume at max, I thought it said in Tahiti, and I was like, what are you doing in Tahiti? Tane, not Tahiti, Tane. Weather's the same though. Anyway, Madison Avenue worry lines. You're no longer Cinderella, you're the ugly sister now. Worry lines, worry lines. Eyes narrow when you see your figure passing by the mirror. Worry lines, worry lines. Never used to be this complicated, now you hate her. Worry lines, worry lines. It's not silver, you're not grateful, growing old and you're disgraceful. Worry lines, worry lines. Madison Avenue, fountain of youth. Madison Avenue, here's looking at you. Your hair collects unpleasant odors after midday, you're not sober. Worry lines, worry lines. Dishpan hands, ill-fitting dresses tear the mustache from your face. And worry lines, worry lines. This is no shape for a girl when everyone is thinking small. Worry lines, worry lines. Once you were as close as whispers, at your back you hear the whispers. Worry lines, worry lines. Madison Avenue, fountain of youth. Madison Avenue, here's looking at you. Madison Avenue, fountain of youth. Madison Avenue, here's looking at you. hissing frogs and flitting slippers, boys and apples, angry witches, Lifton's got you all in stitches, mazing how the old skin stretches. Madison Avenue, fountain of youth. Madison Avenue, here's looking at you. Madison Avenue, fountain of youth. Madison Avenue, does she look younger than you? Thanks. I'm going to sort a problem that appears to have arisen. I'm just going to drop to standard definition. It means you might not be able to make out like the leaves of the pot plant behind me, but it might make things a wee bit better for you. Do you like our pot plant? Pointing over the wrong shoulder. That's I don't know where that came from, but it was in here the other day. It's quite beautiful. It's an aloe vera plant. I think if we get hungry while you're playing the piano, you can nibble on it. I'm taking bets on how long it's going to last in here. Unless it's one you don't have to water. If you don't have to water it, that thing's going to take over the room. It'll be like Day of the Triffids. Is it Day of the Triffids or Night of the Triffids? That's one for the comments section. What was I going to do? Oh man, I mentioned earlier that me and Megan Henwood are going out on tour again in November. We were supposed to be going out on tour November last year, and we were supposed to make an EP, and we've made it. We finished it. We've not really finished it. We've almost finished it. I'll maybe play a new song off of that. Actually, I'll have to find the words, but yeah, we're doing a new EP, Story Song Scientists, and in fact, we've got enough for a third EP, which is quite exciting as well. We've had the gentleman from the Cloud Appreciation Society reading out stuff about clouds for one of the songs. It's been really good fun. We've got all sorts of interesting bits of audio in it as well. We've also got us singing and playing guitars on it as well, obviously. But anyway, this is one that me and Meg wrote. It's called Wild Wild Country. It's a Netflix special in 3 shouty minutes. I was a fool and I rushed in, all tangled up in the heat of the movement. Worship the ground he's walking, measure up apricot robes, I'm coming. One step further out from the drama, one step closer to my nirvana. I am open, I am empty, take my money, make me holy. Big money gonna hypnotize, show me how to live my life. They're moving earth, they're building beautiful people, hollow and yearning. Osho is out in the wild, wild country. He's in a Rolls Royce, they're growing hungry. Get your gun and get with the program. Red rats run to protect the big man. I am open, I am Stop the attorney, silence the weapons. Pure as a journey, ended in poison. Now it's 84 and it's over. They carried that can, got no closure. One step further out from Nirvana, one step closer to all the drama. I am open, I am empty, take my money, make me holy. Big money gonna hypnotize, show me how to live my life. Cross my legs and close my eyes, tied up for a paradise underneath an Oregon sky. Show me how to live my life, live my life. Thank you. I'll move this over here. It's getting caught. Right. What was Wild Wild Country? What else was I going to do? There's been a couple of requests. Someone requested one for the ditch. I can definitely do that. Capo goes here. Mind you, last time I did this, it got very exciting. I'll have a drink of water. One for the ditch. I wrote this with Nick Turner, and it was on one of the Bar and Mountaineers albums. And Ewan Robertson from Braebach recorded it as well, actually. Yeah. Getting a New Year song. Whoops, dropped my plectrum. I will come back. Whiskey with water is good for the soul. Without a peat fire, it's no use at all. Whiskey with ginger goes down a treat, and if you're killing a memory, it's best taken neat. One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. Oh, one for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. First step's the deepest, and the New Year's snow. You're lying in the ditch, it's time to get up and go. Look to the stars, wouldn't it be fine to know with some kind of certainty one of them was mine? One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. Oh, one for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. There's fireworks and dancing, the bottle goes round, and everyone's lined up parties all over town. just as it gets to wild mounting time, the couples stream off in disorderly lines. One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. Oh, one for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. One for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. Yeah, that's a song guaranteed to make me miss the Highlands. I was going to do this one, which I kind of wrote it for Donald Trump. Actually, I looked up narcissist online. What is a narcissist? I googled and found this great article about what a narcissist was, and it was explained through the medium of Donald Trump. It was brilliant. So I'm going to sing this. It's called. Well, I don't know if it's called "I'm Sorry" or "I've Never Been Wrong." Probably it'll be "I've Never Been Wrong." It suits the character a bit better. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry that you chose to burden me with this today. But you know how it goes. You get garrulous and sad. You turn it all around and somehow I'm the one who's bad. I'm sorry backing down is weak. I'm sorry you chose someone as strong as me. But you don't know why you cry like I'm guilty of some crime. It might happen, baby, you could be right next time. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry you're not making sense. I'm sorry I didn't think you'd take offense. But you're kinda soft and that's what I like about you. But keep up this business and baby we'll be through. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry. If there'd been people talking at the bar, they would have kept talking and it would have gone dead silent, and they'd have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It was one of those endings. I'll adjust the ending to suit the venue. How are we doing here? 15 minutes left. Let's see. I was going to do you another one of my 1 minute songs, actually. There's this one called "Tell Someone You Love Them." Sort of, you have to imagine that I'm one of those casino crooners, if that makes sense to you. Make your bed, trim your nails, wipe your bathroom mirror, open it all unopened mail, put your shoes back where they belong. Take the receipts out of your car, water all your plants, and if you followed me this far, tell someone you love them, even if it's only you. Tell someone you love them, even if it's only you. I keep writing them as well. I've got there's a whole sheaf of other ones down there. 1 minute ones. Somebody else asked for something. Someone asked for Shake the Chains. I don't fancy it right now. I was going to do something else. There's another one here I fancied. I do have sheets of paper because some of them I don't trust myself to play them off by heart. I'll be honest with you. Usually I'm absolutely fine, but for some reason of late I've been terrible. But I think that reason is that I haven't actually had to do a gig, so I've just not been doing it. I'll play one of me and Meg's new ones actually. There's one right there. I don't know have I played this? A Capo 5 it says. This is quite interesting. I don't know. My school was one of the first schools in Scotland to have Mac computers, Apple computers rather, and and also we were one of the first places to get the internet. And I remember that one of the things that people got into. One of the things that people got into early on was the Anarchist Cookbook, which you could get online. And if you've not heard of the Anarchist Cookbook, it's a kind of, it's all the things you need to do to start a revolution from your own kitchen. One of the things I remember my mate downloading was how to make a bazooka that could fire a frozen orange through a barn door at 50 yards. So I mean that if it could do that, then it could kill. So this guy wrote the book after he'd been beaten up by police in Central Station in New York, and William Powell, his name was. He wrote this book. He went to the library in New York and he just went through all the books he could find about guerrilla warfare and urban warfare and all that kind of stuff. And he wrote this Anarchist Cookbook of how to overthrow a government. It's amazing, and it was published, but of course they tried to ban it, and there would be copies here and there in libraries, but he never thought anything of it. And he's a very he lives in Japan and kind of teaches and keeps himself to himself. Meanwhile, the internet arrives in everyone's homes, and the next thing there's people blowing up police stations and making Molotov cocktails, and when the police are going through their computers, they're finding that they've downloaded the Anarchist Cookbook. And he's got no idea about all this. It's a sort of amazing story. He kind of did it, and he just thought, that's it, done. That's that chapter of my life over and done with. There's a very interesting documentary about him. Anyway, this is the Anarchist Cookbook. I'm a peaceful man, but I once played with fire and death. I drew diagrams and I laid out the steps. blame my adolescence, unaware of influence, taught the yippie youth how to protest. We gathered at Grand Central Station celebrating spring. The hands of time were taken, so the violent cops stepped in. Teenagers and press were beaten, and the gentle demonstration channeled out my rage through page and pen. There was ink on my fingers, blood on my hands. I wish it was fiction, I wish it was bound. Every chapter there for all to read, ingredients to make the wild world bleed. I'm not guilty, but I'm to blame. It makes my shoulders slope in shame. They stirred in chaos, they turned up the heat. There was ink on my fingers, blood on my hands. I wish it was fiction, I wish it was banned. There was ink on my fingers, blood on my hands. I wish it was fiction, I wish it was banned. You'll find me in the Pyrenees or classroom in Hong Kong. Happy it's not fitting and stick out like a sore thumb. Oblivious and ignorant to all connected incidents. Remorseful for the things I could have done. There is ink on my fingers, blood on my hands. I wish it was fiction, I wish it was banned. Ink on my fingers, blood on my hands. I wish it was fiction, I wish it was banned. It wasn't Japan he went to, it was Hong Kong. It's in the lyrics. And then the Pyrenees as well. I don't think he had the internet, which is why he didn't know of all these people that had been blowing up police stations with his book. Right, I got time for a couple more, I think. To the east there come a hard man, oh, all the way from Brighton, glory, hallelujah, cod liver oil and the orange juice. Went into a pub and he came out paralytic, oh, VP inside at a what a hell of a mixture, cod liver oil and the orange juice. Does this bus go to the dentist in Pally? Whoa, I'm looking for a lumber. Glory, hallelujah, cod liver oil and the orange juice. At the dance and he met Haiti Matey, whoa, flew to the Gorbals, glory, hallelujah, cod liver oil and the orange juice. Well, new Matey, are you dancing? Oh, it's just the way I'm standing. Glory, hallelujah. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. Well, New Mary, can I run you home? Oh no, I've got better sand shoes. You're hell of a funny. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. Well, out of the back close down into the dunny. Oh, it wasn't for the first time. Glory, hallelujah. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. Come on, mammy, she was going to the clutchy. Whoa, I buggered off sharpish. Glory, hallelujah. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. New Haiti Mary, she's looking for her hard man. Whoa, is Jane the Foreign Legion? Glory, hallelujah. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. Haiti Mary, she's had a little baby. Oh, feathers in the army. Glory, hallelujah. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. Cod liver oil and the orange juice. That's off my Glasgow album. So on the bottom of the screen there, you'll see various things floating along. If you'd like to tip me, that would be lovely. There's a tip jar and a PayPal right on the front page of my website. If you can't see it, you might have to scroll down a wee bit. If you would like to buy anything, it's on the Cheery Groove Bandcamp page, which is fairly easy to find. There we go. Terry's put up a link to my tip jar. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and in person. Follow me on foot. I'm going to play you one more song. This is called Thank You, Curly Merkin. Great screen name. Clappity clap clap to you two for your screen name. Thanks for coming along. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you like my lights. By the way, Chris did this. He's simply hung little bits of crepe paper over the lights. You might be able to see it. There you go. Look. Back online. It wasn't me. Oh, what happened? Did it go offline for a minute? I should have just moved the light rather than the computer. This one's lovely. It's orange. Anyway, thank you very much for having me. It's been a total blast. I should do more of these online gigs. I did quite a lot of them last year, and now we've got the space. I should try and learn to do more. Thank you for having me, Uxbridge Folk Club, and I will be back in person, hopefully someday, singing in your faces. This is called The Blue Lagoon. It's the last track off of my Glasgow album. Down to Central Station, that's my destination. My heart would soar like a child's lost balloon. I fell in love in the blue lagoon. So I would go there and I'd spend my bus fare, just in the hope that she'd answer me too. I fell in love in the blue lagoon. I was just a boy, never caught her eye, another fish to fry. Thursday to Sunday I would make my way. There was nothing else that I'd rather do. I fell in love in the blue lagoon. I was just a boy, never caught her eye, another fish to fry. Down to Central Station, that's my destination. My heart would soar like a child's lost balloon. I fell in love in the blue lagoon, in the blue lagoon. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a brilliant night. You can put your tips in at Tipjar, PayPal, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. Buy stuff from the Cheery Groove Bandcamp page. Thank you so much and have a lovely night. Cheerio now. Bye. Bye.